Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, today we will discuss about the stable storage structure that is needed for data to be safely kept inside a disk. How to implement these stable storage structures and what are the ways that in other than the disk, that is an NVRAM cache, can be implemented as a stable storage structure. The write-ahead logs generally requires stable storage to reside in its memory, as we know that the information residing in a stable storage are never lost. To implement this type of storage, we generally require to duplicate the information inside many of the disk or multiple storage devices. Now, when the disks are being copied to another disk and multiple storage devices, then we can say that we can safely handle the writes or modification on any data that is being updated at the time of failure. So when the data is being updated even in the time of failure or recovery, then there are other disks that will support the data either on the previous side or on the writes that is being modified. Now we can have the writes in three main ways. What is the complete write? That is a successful write on the disk that is being updated. Another is a partial write. Partial write is being done that one sector is already being written as successfully, but the another sector is being written at the time of failure, so that the sector will cause and corruption and damage of data. And the third type of write that is associated is that complete failure, that the write is not yet even done and the previous data is maintained at the disk. Now, whenever a failure occurs within a disk, then the steps to be performed are we need to copy the information first, and then we need to map those information on the physical disk or blocks. So here we need two physical disks or blocks for each of logical block transferring. First, we need to copy the data of this logical block on which the write has been performed. Then we need to write the data on the first physical block. After that, the successful writing to the first block, next we will write the block to the next second physical block. After that, the successful completion of the write to the second block. Now, even if during a completion of the data, the disk is being written and a failure occurs. So if there is any undamaged data between these two blocks, then we can safely write the data to the disk. But if one data block consists of damaged data, then we can replace the data with the other block. And now suppose there is no damaged data of that particular physical data block, but the data within these two physical data blocks are mismatched. Then only the first data block is replaced with the content of the second data block. These write updations are done in this intention that either writes has been successfully written to the disk, other that no writes has been done, and the previous values of this content of the disk is being stored at the failure site. So even if the time of the failure or recovery, consistent and correct data is maintained. Now, as this writing to the disk and physical blocks is time consuming, so many of the operating systems involve NVRAM as a cache as a part of the stable storage system. As these types of part is a non-volatile and which can be support that even if the power gets switched off, the computation power and the content will retain. So it can be assumed that it will uninterruptedly write the data to the disk. So it is considered a part of a stable storage and it requires a less time than it is writing to the physical blocks and then writing to disk. Then many of the operating systems use this NVRAM as a stable storage implementation to the architecture. That is all for the stable storage implementation. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned with Ekeeda and subscribe to Ekeeda.